This is the face of failure. But I don't want to talk about failure specifically. I feel like I talk a lot about when things don't go well. I want to talk about its opposite, success, but more specifically, the dangers of getting too obsessed with your own success and your own ambitions when making a film. When I went to Greece, part of my ambition was to create a visually stunning film, which is nothing unusual. Anyone who picks up a camera wants that. I wanted you to be able to pause the documentary at any moment and for every frame to look like a painting. Does that look like what's happened here? So I was on Lesbos Island in late September, and at that time sunrise was around 7 AM and the plan was to film it. So we woke around 5:30, left the Airbnb in Mytilene and drove out to these hilly coastal roads. I wanted to capture a tree in that golden morning light, but like an ancient looking tree, something that looked timeless. We didn't have an exact tree in mind or a location, but we knew a road that cut through some woodland, and so we took a chance on it. But as we're driving, we're hunting through the dark. We weren't finding like the shot. Well, sunrise happens quickly and the sky was brightening, and so we had to make a decision. We stopped the car, made a dash to this outcrop overlooking a forest and the sea, and here's what we got. Not exactly a painting. But no big deal, right? There was a vague notion of what I wanted in the shot, but we hadn't done a location scout, and sunrise is like a few minutes at most, so it was a real gamble that we'd get anything. And we didn't. So what? I mean, I'm not a morning person, and so I guess it's annoying to get up that early and not get the shot, but it's not the end of the world. Except I kind of made it the end of the world. There's all sorts of reasons why it failed. Like, there was no real planning, we were just in the wrong place, the actual sunrise that morning was kind of underwhelming, but none of those things mattered, because I made this failure personal. I've read this book about the Iliad, and it's great, by the way, if, like me, you want to know why Homer and Greek mythology is hyped without having to actually read the Iliad. So I highly recommend it, and because of it, I'm going to wax poetic about ambition and glory. Glory is about immortalization. It's about contributing something to the eternal. Mozart is eternal. Einstein is glorified. Shakespeare will never die. Ancient Greek heroes wanted their names to echo through the ages. But here's where you have to be careful. Like it says in the book, this pursuit of glory is corrupting when it becomes about self-aggrandizement and not about producing something of permanence. I used to imagine myself on the late-night talk show circuit. I've just released my masterpiece and everyone wants to talk about my genius. It's a shiny, seductive vision of success, all adoring eyes on you, everyone enamored by your excellence. It's the same fantasy that will go viral. We can bask in the afterglow as the world recognizes our brilliance, but it's a very self-centered version of glory, and it makes it almost impossible to do good work. It was this type of thinking that made that failed sunrise shot so painful, but it also made the failure, I think, inevitable. Because it wasn't just about that shot. I vividly remember second-guessing every single shot in Greece. Because it wasn't just if the shot looked good, but did it make me look good? Putting myself at the center of everything made composing any shot impossibly complicated. Because I promise you, you do not have enough brain space to manage your ego and do everything you need to do to get a good shot. And this mindset extended to my interview questions as well. Were they profound enough? Was I going to unlock some deep truth about the nature of being? Was I smart enough? Was I insightful enough? I got so highly strung about all of this that I even had a fight with my producer over how she ate her ice cream. And no one should be fighting over ice cream. I don't mean to characterize my time in Greece as only self-serving. The best parts of the project were when I was truly trying to discover something, when My ambition was outward looking, and I was discovering a little bit of truth about the world. But the trip also highlights something a lot of creatives struggle with, I think, which is wrapping up their self-worth in their work. I don't mind saying that I am motivated in part by a desire for the world's admiration. I do want to be really good at what I do and be recognized for that. But what I'm learning is that that has to be channeled into crafting something of value beyond yourself. Do you want to be noticed or notable? What I mean is, do you want people to know you, or do you want to have produced something that people know? The second thing, I think, is better. That's what's changed the world, and if you create something that is of value to others, you get the glory anyway. So really, the only meaningful course of action is to forget your ego. We all know Einstein, but it's because of relativity. Relativity is what fundamentally changed our understanding of the universe. And Einstein was driven by understanding the universe, not by having everyone know his name. So make something because you are curious, or driven to create something that looks beautiful or cool or entertaining, or whatever you want. Be driven by the joy of doing it, not to be known for it. And the best part is, putting the focus outside yourself makes creating something good much easier, because you can afford to make mistakes. It isn't personal if it doesn't work. You can try again. Your worth and your happiness become untethered from the amount of glory you receive. A bad shot is just a bad shot. And trust me, I have recorded a lot of bad shots. With some distance on the whole experience, I can ask, was I happy making those films? The answer is yes, like absolutely. It was hugely stressful, but I kind of love the stress that comes with making a movie. I want to make stories, even if nobody cares. It's worth it to me. It's the way I want to live my life, to pick apart ideas, craft stories, and explore human experience through films. Even if I don't end up on the Jimmy Kimmel Fallon sofa, it's worth it.
Good night and thanks.